Okay. This is one of my favorite books because it teaches a lesson on how to treat people. And you all know our word of the month is respect. And we've been talking about how to treat people. And this book called How Full Is Your Bucket kind of talks about that. Okay? This is the title page. How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids. The author, Tom Rath and Mary Rockmeyer, and the illustrator. The illustrator is the person that drew the pictures. Okay, that's the artist. It's Maury Manning. Okay. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. This is a scowl. "Go away. You're too little." I bet you all have a brother or sister that might annoy you like that. Or maybe you are that brother or sister that annoys a bigger brother or sister. That's what I think. Okay. "I'm big. Stay back. You'll knock it over." See, he worked really hard on his block tower, and he thinks his sister is going to knock it over. I think she would too, personally. "I can be very careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Is her brother Felix really being nice to her, though? Even if he doesn't want her to ruin his blocks, he doesn't have to talk or treat her like that. Wow, look at that. I think that shows what she's thinking in her head, like Felix. Uh-oh, look what she did. She got so mad. Was that the nice, should she have done that? Should Anna have kicked his block tower over? No. They were kind of both wrong. "Grandpa!" So she's crying and he's mad. Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket." "Like everyone else, Anna. Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels good. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? See, when she's feeling good, her bucket is full. It's like an imaginary bucket. It's not a real bucket. But when she's feeling bad, it's like an empty bucket." Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite understand when his grandfather was joking. Okay, so he's kind of confused as to what his grandfather's talking about with his full or empty bucket. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, look at it, it's halfway. Would we say it's halfway full or halfway empty? We'll see. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." I bet this might look like the way your morning is in the morning, getting ready for school, and maybe your mom or dad have to go to work. They have to go to work. Uh-oh, look at that. Poor dog. Can't even get any food. Okay, let's find out what happens. Felix slipped, and the choco wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix," yelled his mother, "you should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip, and big invisible drips spilled out. See, water's coming out. It's getting empty and empty. That's not good. He wants to fill it up. Drip, drip. "Ha-ha," Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus, scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the choco wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one, I wonder if he was able to get that muffin. Buster, the dog, jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. Aw, poor Felix. Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like that. Drip. So he's feeling really bad. Psst, Felix. See, they're not being very nice, though, are they? No. He's feeling really bad. Kind of like how he treated his sister, huh? Watch out, Shrimp. Oh, gosh. That's called a bully. He should say, excuse me, instead. Uh-oh, some more water coming out of his bucket. So look at all these kids in the hall. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. Oh, so he's feeling kind of poor, pitiful right now. Have you ever had a day like that nothing seemed to go right? I sure have. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would just trip and fall. Now, is that a very nice thought to have? That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Oh, look at that bucket. See, everybody's just around him being happy, and he's just plopping down, just feeling sorry for himself. He's pouting. Felix slumped into a seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumbernickel walked slowly up to his desk. Oh, it's Mrs. walked up to his desk. That's a mistake in the book. See that? Mrs. Bumbernickel walked slowly. Oh, maybe it's Felix's desk. Okay. Up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. He was worried that maybe it was a test paper or something, and maybe he got a bad grade. Have you ever felt like that? Like, oh no, I don't want to look. Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class? Oh, what's going to happen now? Now his bucket is getting full. Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop, drop, plop, plink, plop, drop. The Giganotaurus who wanted a pet, by me, Felix. So he made up some weird sounding animal. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the very scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped. Wow. Even Emily, who sat right next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't have been so bad. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. See, he's starting to fill his bucket up. Okay, hold on. Drop, drop, drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. See, that makes them feel good. Kind of like when you're a team captain in here and you get to help me. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. So he's doing a good job with his art. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. See, she likes his backpack. That's nice of her. The way I feel, if you can't say anything nice, you shouldn't say anything at all. Yeah. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. So what does that mean? Is he feeling better? At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. See, look at everyone else's bucket. You could see that bully doesn't have a lot of water in his bucket, huh? See, the way you treat people and the way people treat you and the way it makes you feel affects how much water you have in your bucket. So he has all these drops. Let me help you. See, he must have dropped his papers, and Felix is helping. Drop. Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Hi, I'm Felix. Is it your first day? Yes, I'm Amir. Isn't that nice? Now, I know a lot of you are new to this school. I wonder if anybody came up to you and started talking to you to be a friend. If they did, they were filling their bucket. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. See, he's feeling bad, so his bucket is almost empty. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." See, isn't that different than saying, "Bad dog"? He's trying to be positive. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? See, now instead of saying, "Go away, leave me alone," he's asking Anna to help him with his blocks, to make her feel better, I'm sure, because of her doll. And so they did. Now think about what you are going to do to fill your bucket. And when we're finished, when the video is over, I'm going to ask some of you, what will you do to fill your bucket? Think about it and talk to your neighbor.